It's time for final thoughts here. Our final take, Dean Leggy, joining you again. We're getting ready for some rain, and our friends over at Red Zone, that's who's providing this shirt. Make sure you're taking advantage. I thought it was really cool. Remember, they're on Clayton, downtown in Athens. They will be open until about 30 minutes before kickoff. Remember, this is a local business. We've got the dogs. I've got them covering up 52 points. That's quite a bit. I don't know how much action's been out there, but I am curious to see the rain here. What are we really dealing with the Georgia Bulldogs and rain? It's important to play these games for a lot of different reasons. Elements when you play an outdoor sport are really important to learn how to conquer, and we will just see how much Georgia gets out of this. Again, you never know when it's going to rain in a big game or any game. We saw in the past, Jake Fromm really struggled in weather at times. And let's just see what happens with Stetson. These are not the same things. Jake was dealing with extremely frigid conditions against Kentucky one year. I remember that was awful. And then there were some other times that Jake dealt with stuff too. Georgia's going to be playing in Kentucky in late November, so nastiness is something they're going to have to get used to. We do these live. Get through the sneezes. Yeah, I'm getting ready for everything. I've not found my boots yet for tomorrow, which is an unfortunate thing. I do not want to ruin my shoes, but it's probably time for a new set of shoes anyway. Although getting shoes for me with a size 16 is not the easiest thing on earth. Again, I like Georgia to cover this line. I'm extremely excited about watching Kentucky and Florida. Tomorrow is excellent football all through the day. You could start off with Alabama, Texas, if that's what gets you interested in things. For me, that's not going to be an unbelievable game, but quickly into the 3:30 hour, which is a pretty good slate. But it picks up in prime time with the Gators and Cats. You got SC playing the Trees. You've got, I think, State is at Arizona with an 11 o'clock kick on FS1. Those of us who love West football, we're going to be all over that because it's going to be Mississippi State. So it's an exciting time of year. I'll also be monitoring South Carolina and Arkansas. That is a noon game. That is going to be probably a better game for those of you who follow the Dogs, which if you're watching some idiot with a Talk Kirby to Me shirt on, I'm guessing that you are Georgia fans. So anyway, we appreciate all the business. Make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. If you want me to sign it, I will be happy to. Please tell me immediately. I turn the books around quite quickly. So a lot of folks have bought them. A lot of folks have gotten me to sign them lately. Please tell me immediately. I turn them around quickly. Our friends at Red Zone have the book as well. If you're tonight, by the time you're watching this, it's going to be too late. They'll be closed, but they will be there about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So make sure you're there at Red Zone on Clayton Street downtown. I'm not sure what we're going to learn about Georgia this week. I think what the big thing is to avoid injuries. The other thing is the more I get ready for the rain, the less likely it will rain, I feel like. But as I told, Ryan and Matt and Dylan and everybody who's worked with me, you have to be prepared for what is coming. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, at least you were prepared. We went to the national championship game a year ago preparing for Georgia to win the national championship. They did. You see the book behind me. Tomorrow I think y'all need to prepare for rain. However, knowing how rain is, it does not appear like there's going to be thunderstorms in the area. It seems like it's just going to be rain. And what does that mean? A couple of different things. First of all, it doesn't rain all the time. When you got 100% chance, that's when it's going to rain. And looking at my Google phone, I do not have a Google phone. I have an iPhone like a normal person, but it does look like there will be rain for sure at the start of this game. The question for me is, how long will that last? That is definitely a question for me because when you're out there with extremely expensive photography equipment and you're having to gear up with all of your stuff on, I'm not like Matt and Ryan, who will be up in the box being catered to and taken care of and having their fingernails, serviced, etc., getting manicures and pedicures. I will be on the field slopping around looking for a dry towel. But tomorrow will be an important moment for everyone. This is the first chance fans have had to greet their team during a regular game as national champions. It's been 9 months. It looks like they very well could be national champions again. At least that's not out of the question. Let's see what Alabama looks like against Texas in a game that my suspicion is will be a little closer than people imagine until the end. And then that's probably when Alabama will push it out. I have Texas covering in that game. For you degenerates who are betting on these games, I have them covering late Texas. So I have Texas. I have Kentucky winning straight up. That line is going very much against me right now. That line went from 4 to 6 for the Gators. So if you're playing at home, which I don't bet on sports, I talk about lines. Those are not the same thing. But I would be glad to take almost a touchdown uh, and see where it gives you to go. I mean, Kentucky is a much more disciplined team than Utah, as it turns out. So I think for me, I like the Cats in an upset. I was a little bit firmer about that before the Utah game, but and frankly before Kentucky's game, where they did not play as dominantly as I thought they would. I don't know if dominantly is a word. They were not as dominant as I would have liked. But my quest tonight in Athens is to find my camouflage boots. I cannot find them right now, and that's kind of problematic. So that's not ideal. But um, y'all should take advantage of the situation we're in, even with the rain. You're going to be in Athens, Georgia. Take advantage of all the retail, the dining opportunities. Come to Athens to have a great game day. We'll have you completely covered for Saturday's game with Samford. It should be not entertaining, but let's be honest. Whenever Georgia rolls out there, there's something to watch. We've got a lot of build up towards Georgia's game in South Carolina. That game is looking like it's going to be a 90-degree game. It's just kind of like uh, the heavens said, "Hey, look, we'll let you play indoors that first week, but you will be burning up in Columbia." If you weren't burning up in Columbia, would it really be a trip to Columbia? If you weren't there for a weather delay every other time, would it really be, a trip to Columbia? Let's remember that, consistently there have been weather issues in Columbia in 2, 14, 16, three times in the last 9 times Georgia's been there. The game has been delayed straight up to the next day or by weather in the area. I still have a copy of the Georgia South Carolina game in 2002 with Larry Munson. And every time the lightning would strike, you would hear a crack through the radio. That was one of the most epic games we've ever seen in Georgia South Carolina history. And there have been some really good games, but that one was a nerve wracker all the way through. For those of you who forgot, Carolina had won in an upset in 2000. I think they might have been favored in 01, but they stole that game in 01. In 02, that came down to the final play of the game. It was a tight one. I don't think this one's going to come down to the final play of the game. South Carolina's going to have to play a lot better than they did against Georgia State if they want to be in a competitive ball game in the second quarter with Georgia. So Shane and company have got a ways to go. Both of the Palmetto State teams have got to pick it up if they want to finish where they want to finish as this season goes. I mean, I think South Carolina would have really liked to go with 7 or 8 wins, and they can't play like that. If Clemson wants to get to the playoff or even get back to the ACC championship game, they're going to have to play better than they did against Tech. But for the Dogs, they get a chance to shine in the rain. We'll just see how that goes. It should be good on the field because Georgia's turf management folks do an exceptional job. And some rain is not going to, if they didn't have a problem in 15 when Alabama came during that rain, or even Arizona State in '09, then they're not going to have a problem with some showers in the area Saturday. I look forward to being miserable with y'all at the game, more miserable because of my situation, but we'll have you covered. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at Red Zone on Saturday before the game, and then on Dog Post and on our YouTube and Facebook channels afterwards. Thanks for watching.